Again, when they confound my speech and I have to start over, I have to put it in a way that's more harsh and more to the point. Basically, other males have such a pathetic mind that they aren't even comparable to the least martial artist in history. There's no other true martial artist but me. Okay. We have to understand the difference between raising a son versus rejecting transference. The witch doctor, the switch doctor, right? Obviously, white-skinned people are stopping at nothing to try to switch the roles with the black spiritual order, okay, which ends with me. So the Jew, the Juju, Jupiter, Juno, Jujitsu, July, and June are connected, okay? Juju is basically witchcraft from West Africa. There's the Juju bean, the Juju vine, and the tree. The vine wraps around the tree. There's parallels with this in the Garden of Eden. In my last video I'm going to make ever, because there's no point, I'm going to get right to the point with it, tell you why you're sealed. It has to do with moral will, willpower, and spiritual power, and why they're connected, and why you cannot be right with God if you do not breed in a way that is right with God, or redeem yourself and your family when you haven't, and why after I'm dead there is no way to redeem yourself. Okay, I'll spell it out for you in a way that a kid can understand. There's many kids that understand this already. There's PhDs that understand this already. There's no excuse for not understanding this. Pretending that I'm mentally ill is not going to save you and your family's souls. You're just going to be that sniveling coward that fucking openly pretended that I was mentally ill to your butt buddies while you're on your way to a dishonorable death, which God despises. Okay, so let's look at God's image. God made man in his image, so to speak, right? But man has to become a man. And God is all-knowing, all-powerful, all-good. It takes a bitch to try to be powerful and all-knowing, right? You can't be all-powerful and all-knowing, but you can start working toward being all-good. Obviously, that's the true path, the difference between the tree of knowledge to leverage it for worldly power and being good, the true tree of life, the way, the truth, versus being a secret society bitch trying to leverage knowledge, or some intelligence agency bitch, or some gang-stalking scumbag. Anyway, number 3. Little faith, right? Oh, you men of little faith. Why do they have little faith? Because they have little moral will. They have little willpower, and they have no spiritual power, okay? You have to believe in morality to truly believe in God. If you aren't willing to sacrifice everybody for the highest moral principles, then you don't believe in God. It's that simple. Number 4, everyone knows they are wrong. Everyone else knows that they are wrong, okay? The poor criminal knows he's wrong. He's saying he's got to sell his drugs to survive. So what? So that you can sell more drugs and live longer? So that your children can follow in your footsteps? Or perhaps so they can serve the very oppressors that put you in that situation in the first place? Or perhaps so they can join them? Obviously they're wrong. Obviously the oppressor knows he's wrong. Generations of ill-gotten gains, right? That blood diamond money, that's slave trade money, the genocide of the Native Americans, so on and so forth, right? The Native Americans themselves know that they're wrong. You're helping these colonialists continue their satanic ways and blaming Christianity or some random thing instead of pinpointing where the blame belongs, and it belongs with the oppressor and people like you, the token minorities, that help them. It's a no fucking brainer. Who could miss that, you know? And then you're basically punking your own people by expecting them to roll with it too when it's so obvious why you're wrong. So number 5, Hades, Persephone, and bringing women to hell. Obviously the story of Hades and Persephone is about the devil going to a snake that knows she's a snake already, turning her out, and then boom, she becomes the queen snake of all people, right? Poor, phony. Right? After he had sex with her, did she kill herself? Did she stop at nothing to kill him and to overthrow him? No, she joined him because she was already evil already. And of course, the Greco-Roman system's only output is evil, of evil people needing to be redeemed. Okay? All right, so moving on. So the bitches in quote-unquote martial arts pretend that there's a right way and the wrong way. Well, there's a right way to be wrong, and that is insist on doing it your cultural imperialist in this satanic way, sort of way. Your race-based way, right? The Kumite. Whose race came up with that? Okay? American martial arts. The Olympics, right? A rape cult fucking idea. Mount Olympus, where Zeus, the biggest rapist of all. Probably the biggest rapist in any mythology probably is Zeus. Okay? So to insist to go to the Olympics where the rapists rule over Mount Olympus, right, is obviously wrong. That is the right way to be dead fucking wrong and void of spirit, quote unquote, spiritually dead. Okay? It is stupid and immoral to let race determine your action, whether it's finding a suitable mate, whether it's choosing a martial art, whether it's arguing a martial art challenge, right? To say, oh, don't do it in a way that gives the tall, coordinated martial artist the upper hand. It's immoral, okay? You're saying that because your people are short. Or do it in a way that's strong. That gives the advantage to people who are strong. It's immoral. You're saying that because your people tend to be strong. You know, or your family or whatever. Okay, so number 7, right? It's obvious that I'm right because the idea of shu haru on top of everything else. Shu hari. Show hero, shu hero, shu haru. Horus. Okay? What does it mean? After, in karate, when you've learned everything that is useful from your master, you go your own way. Shu hari, to go one's own way. Right? And what happens when you go your own way? You're by yourself and you're being screened out. Instead of the system acknowledging the hero.
I need to deliver some information. Your father has to see a patient.
So obviously, for the system not to obey the hero and recognize that he's the top martial artist, you know, is evil. That's the right way to be wrong. So when we look at number 8, the victim complex aggressor. Okay, either you're part of the problem or you're part of the solution. Okay, you're not a victim if you're helping the aggressor. It's that simple. You know, the soldiers, the colonialist soldiers aren't like, hey guys, you know, I'm a victim here. They're making me do it. Why don't you defect, join the underdog team, and die with honor? Okay, America comes from a long line of pilgrims, right? They have a pilgrim society, a secret society of dishonorable scum who chose to continue dishonor instead of do the right thing and stand with the underdog. You cannot be a man if you won't stand on your own 10 toes for principles. I completely reject the idea that you could possibly be. You're a fucking coward. Who'd want to fight with such a pussy on their side? I want an army of men. God wants men in heaven, not fucking advantage-having, privileged pussies. It's that fucking simple. Okay? It's sort of little kid pride. You know, I'm proud of this group of people. Fucking colonialist trash. Fuck you proud of them for. Get them the fuck out of here. Okay, number 9. Fighting versus striking in actual combat, right? The pharaohs were buried with flint knives. You had the war axe, you had the mace, you had the spear, and so on and so forth, right? This is actual martial art combat. You know, they didn't give a flying fuck about fighting. Fuck fighting's gonna do for me. The enemy's invading. Okay, we're gonna grapple them. No, fuck that gonna do for me. You gotta hone your senses and block their arrows, fire back, strike them effectively. This grappling cage fight. Obviously, after I was interrupted, it threw me off. But basically, fighting is for little girls, right? The female is the one who takes the dick, right? Taking a hit is for people who want to take a dick in the ass, okay? The earth, right? The earth itself, right? Flesh, putting on flesh, fatter makes the better fighter, right? The boa, okay? Grappling, right? The boa, big snake, wraps itself around you, chokes you out, right? Rear naked chokehold, right? Rage and rag, E, which goes back to not the A, it's the E, and the rag, she's on a rag, right? The energy that they're using. When they get hit, they get angry, like, fuck you! And fucking, you know, versus moving masterfully and striking effectively and then moving on to the next person, right? So obviously it's wrong. Grapple, rapel, grapel, gur, apple, right? Jujitsu, juju, right? Jupiter, Juno, July, June, right? Jujitsu and July are connected to juju because it's part of the snake and the witch. Right? Like in the Bible, sorcery is bad, the snake is bad. Okay? You know, he has enmity between him and the man, right? You can interpret this as someone manning up versus someone choosing to be a sniveling snake because they have no heart. The heart is the seat of intelligence. For fuck's sake. You know, when you look at these lessons, you know, they're in a kind of cute kind of, oh, that story, this story. Who fucking cares about these stories? These are the facts. It doesn't take a fucking somebody who's researched as much as I do to come to this conclusion. I knew these things when I was a little kid. Okay? The Biafran War, they were the underdog and they stood against the masses of people knowing that they were going to fight against a larger force when they started carving their own nation, right? This is what it means to be a man. To be the underdog and manning up for principle. Not to act like you're bad and kill people and then kidnap their women and be like, I have the woman now. I'm a man, right? It's the difference between some rape-caught pussies, some illusion Harry Potter willow pussy-ass motherfuckers arguing that what it means to be a man is to trick the woman or to forcibly take her versus the person who understands you have to stand on your own 10 toes.
Is everything okay?
Yeah.
You coming with us?
Yeah.
Have you showered yet?
Yeah.
Okay.